Today, well, actually last summer, you joined me on Great Orme's Head, a mountainous outcrop of land that sits high above the town of Llandudno on the North Wales coast. This site has always intrigued me since countless days out here as a kid, so I thought it was about time we looked at what everything does on the Great Orme. Now, of course, I don't mean everything. There's a nice cafe up here, a gift shop, a mine you can go down, and this brilliant tramway, but of course, we're only interested in the radio side of things. This site was another tough one and took a lot of investigation work and a lot of process of elimination to work out what everything does, so I hope I haven't got anything wrong. Okay, so looking at the Summit Complex building, we can see quite a lot going on. This was originally the Telegraph Inn, and from here, messages were relayed between Holyhead and Liverpool advising of the imminent arrival of sailing ships laden with valuable cargo. The major items on here today are this pair of split-feed circular polarised VHF antennas that serve Classic FM. They radiate 2 kilowatts on 101.6 MHz, but how the feed from Classic is fed here I'm not certain on, so if anybody knows then let me know. So back out to the distant view of the main building and you'll see two white end-fed vertical dipoles. The short one I believe is UHF for Conway County Borough Council and the bigger one may be Marine for Peel Ports, and I've reached these conclusions based on my research into various bits of spectrum licensing information that I have to hand. Most of this is done by process of elimination. You can see a vertical panel antenna in the middle of this building, and this belongs to Vodafone and is for cellular. Also mounted on the roof is a stack of folded dipoles which also belong to Conway County Borough Council. They have 4 UHF frequencies working up here. We've covered 2 of their antennas and we'll come to another 2 later on. If we head over to the main mast, we can see another circular polarised antenna, and believe it or not, this serves 2 stations. Capital on 96.3 MHz and Heart on 105.7 MHz, which was formerly Coast FM. Both stations run 1.25 kilowatt services from here, and they make use of the same antenna by using a combiner, a device that allows multiple FM broadcast stations to use the same antenna, and this is really common all over the country. Again on the main mast, but at the top, you can see a cardioid array and a small end-fed vertical dipole, both for Peel ports. The cardioid appears to be for Marine VHF, and the vertical is for AIS. Below the cardioid is a folded vertical dipole that may also be for Peel's Marine VHF usage. Let's ignore the microwave links for now and move down to these 2 folded dipoles that appear to be for Conway County Borough Council. And lastly is this L-band shrouded Yagi, which is likely feeding Capital FM over to the Great Orme, with Heart being fed from Moley Park in Denbigh by this Yagi hidden down on the side of the building. Before moving on, let's go over the microwave antennas. Point-to-point microwave links up on the Great Orme belong to Vodafone on 7.4 and 7.6 GHz, and there's some BT microwave links left, but not as many as there used to be if we look at these pictures I took back in 2015. There's 14.5 and 15.2 GHz links belonging to Joint Radio Company, and these are likely for national grid infrastructure, and then finally 22 and 23 GHz links belonging to Arqiva. There's another mast on Great Orme Head which is for Marine VHF usage. The antennas on here are quite interesting in that as far as I can tell, they're used by or certainly licensed to Peel ports again. Their channels are channel 9 on 156.450, channel 11 on 156.550, channel 12 on 156.6, and channel 16 on 156.8. You can see these 4 antennas down the length of the mast, with the Great Orme Coast Guard antenna on the other side. This antenna is for Holyhead Coast Guard A, for the Irish Sea Shipping Forecast Area and Great Orme Inshore Waters Forecast Area, and operates on Marine Channel 64. On the top of this mast is what appears to be a direction finding array, also used by the Coast Guard, and this is used to triangulate signals in an emergency. So that's Great Orme's Head, a site that I'm sure after watching this video you'll likely visit in the summer and hopefully notice all of these great antennas, if you don't already. As I said at the beginning, this was a tough one. If anybody knows why Peel Port has such a heavy marine involvement up here, then please let me know. And if I made any mistakes, then feel free to suggest any corrections below as well.